Hey guys, and welcome to How They Could Do It. This is a series where I talk about my theories, thoughts and methods of how companies could create our favourite video games, films and TV. I am your host Shikari Ferrari and I do hope you enjoy. And in this video I'll be talking about my ideas for a Spider-Man / Venom film. I'm happy that they've just announced that they haven't canned the Venom film, but I really do think that it shouldn't be a Venom standalone film. I think he should be in a Spider-Man film first and then he gets his own solo film. So here's my ideas of how they could do it. I hope you enjoy. So starting with Spider-Man, obviously, Tom Holland will return as Spider-Man, and geez, he looks young. I mean, I didn't realise he was only 19 years old, and that short clip we saw of him in Civil War, I liked it. I mean, it's not gonna show his full performance in that 2-second clip he's in, but I like the costume and. Yeah, hopefully he does well in Civil War. Venom next, and if this new Spider-Man film is going younger or lesser known actors, I think Will Poulter would be a good choice. I thought he did a really good job and performance in The Revenant. I'd definitely give that a recommendation just quickly. It's a brilliant film. He's 23, so he's a bit older than Tom Holland, but I think that would help his portrayal as Eddie, as in the film, like having Peter maybe doing better at him in the Bugle. So it would kind of be a double whammy. He's basically older and he's getting beaten by someone who's younger than him. So I think that would help kind of, just help his portrayal. But Venom isn't the villain of my film. Supporting characters now, I think JJ obviously should be in the film. He should be in any Spider-Man film, really. And I think he would set the tensions in a way between Peter and Eddie. Casting him, I just can't see anyone doing better job than J.K. Simmons, really. He's been cast as Jim Gordon, which is cool, but yeah, hopefully they get him back for this, because I just don't know anyone else who can do as good as him. He looks like him, like in the comics. It's crazy. So yeah, hopefully they're smart and get J.K. Simmons back. That'd be really good fun. I think Mary Jane should be in this next Spider-Man film, and I really think Chloe Grace Moretz would do a really good job as Mary Jane. She's actually the same age as Tom Holland, which is really surprising because she looks a lot older. But I think she would be tough Mary Jane, and she wouldn't be the damsel in distress. She could probably handle herself in a fight if she needed to. I mean, I'm not saying do the Spider-Man 1 scene all over again, but I reckon she could probably stand her own. Like, obviously being in Kick-Ass 1 and 2, like as Hit Girl, like kind of show. Kind of like a little bit of that maybe, or something like that. I think she'd be a really good choice. Aunt May obviously will be in the Spider-Man film. I'm honestly not too sure who should play her, really. I think it should be an old, well-known actress playing Aunt May. I've heard rumours of some, I've never heard of her before, who's going to play Aunt May, and that's kind of caused a bit of people are a bit upset about it, but I'm not too sure on the matter. But again, my choice should be, unfortunately I don't have a person to choose, but I do think it should be a well-known actress to play Aunt May. So my actual villain for the film, one we've never seen before, is Carnage. I would love to see him in a Spider-Man film. Like, ever since playing Spider-Man 2, I think it was a PlayStation game, he'd team up with Venom to take on Carnage. And I remember seeing him and I thought, wow, that's so fucking cool. So, yeah, I'd love to see Carnage in the film. And he's one of the most dangerous villains Spider-Man's ever faced. Who I think would be a good Carnage, I've picked two people. The first one, I've seen people suggest, and I think he would be really good, and that's Jackie Haley. He just looks crazy to start with. And his performance as Rorschach in Watchmen was awesome. The voice he could put on with added effects could be so awesome, yet like so terrifying at the same time. Or if we're going youngish cast, I thought Nicholas Hoult would be a good choice. He's the oldest of the cast, but I think he would be a great choice. Already having played Nux, whatever his name is, in Mad Max Fury Road, I think he can play crazy pretty well. I could see him playing a psychotic serial killer who becomes Carnage, really. Yeah, I think he's got that talent to do it. That's it for my character section. On to the next one. Hopefully this film ties in with the MCU. As a standalone film, I don't think it would work as well. As in the MCU, it's established that there are aliens and superheroes out there. So a meteor or ship crashing to Earth that's going to carry the symbiote isn't going to raise any eyebrows with the people in the film. I would want this film to be set after Civil War, otherwise people would just say, well, why wasn't Spider-Man mentioned before Civil War? Why was this not mentioned once? So the story, I personally wouldn't want to see Spider-Man's origins again played out in like full. Once is enough for me. I really don't want to see it again. If you don't know Spider-Man's origins, I mean, there's 2 other films that kind of tell you it. So yeah, just go watch those ones and don't get upset if this film doesn't show them. I think it'd be a smart idea if they don't, but that's just my personal opinion. So for the first half of the film, Spider-Man is battling Venom and trying to reason with Eddie to stop, but the symbiote's control over him is far too strong at the moment. Spider-Man starts to gain the upper hand in the battles that take place, and Venom flees. While Spider-Man searches for Venom, we the audience are told by Spider-Man that it never used to be like this, like Eddie was a nice guy at times and a friend. It then cuts to flashbacks of how the symbiote came to Earth, bonded with Peter to start off with. And Peter talks about how he felt that power, the addiction it has, and how it nearly took a hold of him. But his will to help people and Uncle Ben saying, with great power comes great responsibility, he managed to shed himself of it. But, while Peter was using the black suit, Eddie was tasked by JJ to get snaps of Spider-Man's crazy behaviour. So Eddie was on Spider-Man's tail, listening to Priest's radio to locate him, and one evening it led him into contact with the symbiote, transforming him into Venom. So Peter feels responsible for what happened to Eddie. He's trying to get through to Eddie to save him from the symbiote's addictive nature. This all happened months ago, so the film then cuts back to the present day again. So, how I would introduce Carnage to this whole story. Without Peter knowing, the symbiote split off from the rest of itself before he got rid of the suit completely. And this part of the symbiote has been dwelling in the sewer systems below the city. Throughout the film, you hear on the news that notorious serial killer Cletus Cassidy has been captured and is awaiting trial for his crimes. The lone symbiote who shows signs of intelligence makes its way to the cell where he's been held. And then the transformation begins where the killer becomes Carnage, and all it wants to do is tear the city apart. Spider-Man hears of this new threat after a few incidents of savage kills that are being reported around the city. Until he comes face to face with Carnage, they do battle only for Spider-Man to narrowly escape Carnage, proving that he is too strong to be taken on alone. He then searches out for Venom once more as quickly as possible and tries to reason with him to say that there is a threat that could destroy them all. He finds Venom and they do battle once more. In the fight, something happens that triggers Venom's weakness and his life is put in danger. Spider-Man then risks his own life to save Venom. In the process, the symbiote's control over Eddie is weakened enough to Eddie to regain control. He thanks Spider-Man for saving him, and the symbiote now relies on Eddie for survival and gives him full control over its powers. Spider-Man explains that there is another symbiote on the loose and needs to be stopped. He thinks that Carnage can be stopped the same way he stopped Eddie, so they think of a plan to lure Carnage to a place where he would be weakened. Spider-Man and Venom then team up to do battle with Carnage and defeat him by using fire and other exploitations of the symbiote's weaknesses. And in the process they believe that they have destroyed the symbiote, as there is no sign of Carnage after the big battle. At the end of the film, Venom and Spider-Man agree that they should protect the city together, and then the end credit scene shows that Carnage hasn't been destroyed and is recuperating in the sewers deep below the city. So those are my key action sequences basically from the film. Of course there would be scenes with Mary Jane, the Bugle, Aunt May to fill in the gaps, and just other conversations with minor characters that I haven't mentioned. But those are my main kind of action sequences, or just the big chunk of what's going to be in the film that's going to be exciting. Other things I like to see in the film, I don't think they should change the design of Spider-Man's costume from Civil War. I think they should keep it the same, but if they do, if they have to, just change colours here and there, but I think they should be the same. Venom, I think he should be the big bulky kind of muscular, not ridiculously muscly like you see in the comic books, like he's ridiculous, like tank, like the Hulk. He looks like the Hulk basically. None of that. I want to see the bit of the muscle, the tongue maybe as well, and just he has to look the part to say, because I want to remove Spider-Man 3 from my memory. That film does not exist to me. Ugh, so many bad things in that film. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that awful film. Yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This new Spider-Man film, whatever they do, as long as I think it's a bad idea if they do a solo Venom film. He really should be in the Spider-Man film first, but that's my opinion. But yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you guys later.